So, it's been a very long time since I've come in to do a live. And I'm doing this on the eve of the solar eclipse in Aries. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I'm feeling the beginning of a new energy coming in. This weekend, this extremely potent solar eclipse is happening in Aries. So wherever that is in your own chart, you're going to want to have a look. But not only that, on Sunday, Neptune also enters into Aries, which heralds the beginning of a new era of spiritual embodiment. We're moving from Pisces into Aries, Aries being the energy of catalyzing, of moving us forward, of embodied action. And so we're taking the spiritual realm in Neptune from the Piscean age into Aries, into the energy of the initiation, of walking as the living embodied presence of spirituality. You could call it the spiritual warriorship that is coming into action. I think it's the moment that we've been waiting for. I think it's the moment that many of us have been training for. Certainly the women that I've been working with within the priestess training for the last 15 years, I feel like this is the moment that we've been training for. For me personally, over the last few years, I've been on a deep journey with the Magdalene. And what I want to share with you today is a transmission from the Magdalene in 6 parts. It comes in 6 parts. And so over the next few days, I'm going to be sharing each one of those. It's good to see those of you who've joined me live. And for those of you who are watching this as a recording, blessed be. Okay. The first part of this Magdalene transmission for this moment reads like this. Love through the ruins. A Magdalene teaching on staying open in a time of collapse. We are living in an hour of unraveling, so complete that language often fails. What we are witnessing is not merely the end of political civility, ecological imbalance, or cultural sanity. It is the death of an age, a collective apocalypse, a full-body rupture of a world built on domination, disconnection, and the illusion of control. Patriarchal systems rooted in separation and sustained by violence are thrashing in their final death dance. Their cruelty is no longer hidden. It is broadcasted, normalized, made a spectacle. Their logic is disintegrating into absurdity. The sacred is desecrated, the feminine commodified, the earth herself collapsing under the weight of this machinery. And those of us who feel it, who carry sensitivity not as a liability but as a map, are being called not to escape, but to remain, to love through the fire. And let us be clear, that is not just a death, not a figurative one, not an abstract metaphor, but a real and systemic disintegration of the world as we have known it. And with that death comes grief, terror, separation, disorientation. But it also comes with a whisper that threads through the bone. You came for this. This is not the end, though it feels like one. It is the turning. It is the sacred rupture before the new pulse begins. It is the void before the breath of creation. And in this space, raw, trembling, unsheltered, the Magdalene appears, not as a savior descending from the clouds, but as a frequency arising within. She is the avatar of love, returning through crisis. She is the whisper in the rubble that says, stay, you were born for this. She is here because the world is dying, and because love must rise in the new form through that death. Magdalene does not promise ease. She offers presence. She shows us how to kneel at the tomb of a dying world and still speak the language of resurrection, not as a metaphor, but as an embodied reality. She teaches us how to hold grief in one hand and sacred vision in the other. She teaches us how to stay human, aching, open, awake, when the instinct is to shut down. To love through the ruins is not to romanticize collapse. It is to refuse to meet destruction with more destruction. It is to become a sanctuary for what is still sacred. It is to choose coherence when the world is spinning. It is to live as if the future is already watching, because it is. This is not love as sentiment. It is love as spiritual stamina, love as pattern breaking, love as radical resistance to the machinery of disconnection, love as the embodied refusal to forget what we came here for. You are not failing because you are tired. You are not weak because you are weeping. You are being reforged in the heart of the holy storm. You are being remembered by something ancient inside of you. This is the death of one world, yes, but it is also the conception and birth of another. And we, the ones who remain, are the midwives, the builders, the tenders of the fire, the carriers of the first breath of what is yet to be. So take a breath, place your hand on your heart, and say, even in the ash, I am still here. I am still loving. I am the flame that does not go out. This is the Magdalene path through the apocalypse, and you are walking it, and you're not alone, and you're enough. And so it is. The advent of the North Node, Aries solar eclipse, is spiritual leadership. Not to bypass what is happening in our world, but to engage with it fully, to allow it to dismantle us, to allow it to undo us, and through that undoing and that death, to allow something else to be reborn. The advent of Neptune entering into Aries from Pisces is the grounding into the element of fire, the spiritual leadership, the spiritual warriorship, the ability to be able to walk with fierce compassion in the world, to engage with what is happening, to be present. And that is what I really believe the teachings of the Magdalene are here to offer us. Hello, beautiful ones who are with me live. Thank you for being here, in your hearts and your energy. So I want you to feel the incoming energy of this final Aries eclipse. The last 2 years have been preparing us for this moment of conviction, this moment to awaken to the fire that's catalyzing each one of us to step into why we came here. Coupled with the Neptune moving into Aries, it's a divine appointment, my loves. And that's why I'm doing this live right here. And this is why I've been constellating these short pieces that I'm going to be sharing over the next, little while here on these Magdalene transmissions. So her message to us today is to love through the ruins, to stay present, to know this is why we came. So I bow to you all. May you be safe through this eclipse portal, and may you feel the rise of the heart of the spiritual warrior within you that is not here to fight, but is here to stand as love. Blessed, blessed be to the one heart, my loves. So it is.